In this video, we will explain how to apply patches, upgrades and ePatches to an existing Softdial Contact Center installation. An upgrade is used to update all of the components of SCC together, except MongoDB, FreeSwitch and STG, which must be updated separately. Patches are the normal process used to update individual SCC services. ePatches are used for temporary, emergency updates of services. This Installers folder contains the upgrade and patch installers that we will be using for this tutorial. The larger zip files, Contact Center Setup and Telephony Setup, are the upgrade installers. The others are component patch installers. First, we will upgrade an existing SCC installation, which as you can see is currently at version 10.7.1609, to take it to version 10.7.1682. Then we'll use the patch installers to upgrade STG, Campaign Manager and CallGem, the dialer, from version 10.7.1682 to version 10.7.1693. Finally, we'll demonstrate the procedure for applying an ePatch, which is a temporary fix applied by manually replacing a service file or files. SCC also has a simple and reliable rollback process should any of these updates fail for any reason, or not deliver the expected results. Before applying any upgrade or patch of any kind, you must stop all services and create a backup of the Softdial folder. This backup will allow a quick rollback of all components to the previous version if needed. When all services are stopped, copy the Softdial folder to another location. The SD backup folder is created by the SCC installer for this purpose. While the backup is copying, we can extract the Contact Center Setup 64 upgrade installer, which we will run first. This will upgrade all of the SCC services with the exception of the 4 STG services at the bottom of the service status window. When the backup has completed, it is a good idea to rename it with the current date for easy recognition of the correct backup folder. If we look at the extracted installer files, we can see that there are two files, a Windows installer file and an application file. The application file should always be run, as this will check for any missing dependencies before it runs the Windows installer. Right-click the application file and select Run as Administrator to start the upgrade. Here we can see that the installer has detected a missing Visual C++ redistributable dependency and starts to install the missing files. The installer has also detected a missing Node.js update, which it now installs. Next, the installer extracts the base version installer, version 10.7.1609, which it uses to determine which files need to be updated. When all of the pre-install requirements are met, the application launches the Windows installer file. Click Install to continue. The MongoDB configuration settings are pre-filled using the current settings. If you already have a backup, you can uncheck Do Backup. You can change the MongoDB settings if necessary, but normally this won't be required with an upgrade. Click Next to continue. Click Yes to allow the installer to stop any services that are still running. The installer has detected two applications that are still running. Click OK to allow the installer to attempt to close them. The installer is unable to close the running applications. Click OK to proceed and the installer will automatically request a server restart on completion. Click Finish to complete the installation. The installer will request a server restart if required. We recommend a restart after any installation. After the server restarts, check that all services are running and restart any that aren't. We can confirm that the SCC version has been upgraded in the Services panel. We can also confirm by checking the header in the latest syslog file in the logs/sp folder. All components showing in the services list other than the telephony modules are now upgraded to version 10.7.1682. Now let's look at the difference between an upgrade and a patch. A patch is a much simpler process since it only updates one component. We'll start by looking at a patch for STG. STG has its own upgrade installer, which also can update the Aculab drivers. The STG patch installer only updates the STG system, not the Aculab drivers. These drivers are rarely updated, so the STG patch is more common. The patch update process is the same for all components. Just run the extracted installer and respond to any prompts. That's all there is to it. The STG service is now updated to version 10.7.1693. Again, we can confirm that the patch update was successful by checking the latest STG log. Header version is as expected, version 10.7.1693. The process is the same for all other components. Now we'll patch Campaign Manager using the CM patch installer. Make sure to run all installers as administrator, otherwise you'll get permissions errors. And we can also patch the CallGem ASD engine service using the dialer patch installer. The term dialer is a historic anomaly from the time before the CallGem ASD engine, which is now much more than just a dialer. But the patch process for this component is exactly the same as others. We'll now look at how to apply an ePatch. ePatches are zip files containing files that will be used to replace existing files in a service folder. Here we have a publisher.exe file that has been extracted from an ePatch.zip file. To apply this ePatch, first stop the service to be patched. Here it's already stopped. And then back up the original files in case you want to roll back. Then just replace the existing files with the files from the ePatch and restart the service. ePatches may just contain a .exe file or may include .dll or other files. ePatches will be incorporated in the next official service patch or upgrade. Release notes for all upgrade and patch releases can be found in Sytel's documentation site, help.sytel.com. Navigate to the software release reference section, select the major release version and locate the version number you're installing. If you have an open case that is addressed by the new release, you can search by case number to locate the case details. To find out more about Sytel and Softdial Contact Center, check out the other videos on our channel or visit sytel.com. Thanks for watching.